Hey guys, it's Pose. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. I was going to say match day vlog, but it isn't. It's just my reactions to my championship predictions, and there's some decent predictions and there's some howlers. Yeah, there's some bad ones. So we're going to go through them, and yeah, I'm also going to do like a point system to see how many points I get. The fewer points I do get is the better, basically. So let's see how we do, and I'm going to start from the bottom of the championship and work the way up to the top. So let's go straight in with team number 1 at 24th. So of course, finishing bottom of the championship was indeed Rotherham United. I didn't have them to finish bottom. I had them finishing 23rd. There's a team I had finishing bottom because of how they finished the season prior. When I say previous season, I mean 22-23 season. But yeah, Rotherham, 5 wins all season, the worst attack and the worst defence in the league. You can't really express how bad they are. Obviously, Stoke played them 3 times. We won twice. One of them was in the cup, which was a 6-1 win, and obviously we beat them home and away as well, 6 points. But yeah, 5 wins all season. You're not going to have any chance of staying up like that, and it was a tight relegation battle with the other teams other than Rotherham in that relegation battle. But yeah, Rotherham just didn't have enough and it never really got going, to be honest with you. So then moving up the league was, in 23rd place, Huddersfield Town. I had them in 17th, and during the video I did say I think they would have, well, I think they had just enough to stay up, but I think to make it more comfortable they need a bit more to make sure they are safe. 18 draws, which, to be fair, that's crazy, and obviously the losses as well. You convert some of those draws into wins, you wouldn't be in this fixed in League One next season. Again, this is getting big. It's just not getting enough points against the teams that were in and around them, like Plymouth as well. They that were in a relegation battle with them, and so with Birmingham, 1 point out of the possible 6 from those 2 teams. That you needed those points, especially at the last 2 games of the season. Like I say, you had Birmingham to play, who were 1 place below you, and they needed a win as much as you do, but you both ended up drawing. So yeah, it didn't really work out in the end for either team, obviously, because in 22nd was indeed Birmingham, who obviously went down. They haven't been relegated in many years, obviously, since the last time they were relegated was from the Premier League in 2011, I want to say. The same year they won the Carling Cup. So yeah, it's just crazy to see Birmingham go down because I think they were unlucky. Draws, like I say, draws against Rotherham and Huddersfield were really a catalyst in terms of them going down. And obviously the Wayne Rooney situation as well. It was, I don't think they needed to do that, but John Eustace was leaving him in the top 6 at the time. Then they appointed Rooney because he was obviously a big player back in the day. So it's basically to put Birmingham on the map again. And it didn't really work out. 2 or 3 wins in about 20 odd games or so, and yeah, it went all downhill from there. And now they're playing in League One next season, which is, it's unfortunate for them. It's because Stoke and Birmingham have a good rivalry because they're so close. But yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, unfortunately they are in League One with Huddersfield and Rotherham next season. So then, just avoiding the drop was Plymouth Argyle in 21st. And I had them in 19th. I did think they'd struggle a little bit, but again, I did have them to survive. I think that was the most important thing for them. Was, again, they've just come up as champions from League One. You want to prove that you're good enough to remain in the Championship and compete at that level, and they've done that. Morgan Whittaker, his goals alone is probably what's kept them up. I'd say their form after Stephen Schumacher left, it kind of did dip in here and there. But towards the end of the season, it was proper dropping. They did get a good win against Leicester, which probably helped boost their chances of survival. Obviously, they lost to Stoke as well as beating Hull in the final day just to secure that safety, because they needed to beat Hull because Birmingham also won against Norwich. So they needed to, get those wins in order to stay up, and they've done so. Leicester did play well for the majority of the season. They probably should have been higher than 21st. But again, it's just consistency. It's like for every 1 win, you get 2 losses. Same for most teams. But yeah, they do survive. We're playing them again next season, so we'll see how we do. And yeah, 19th, only 2 places out on that one, so it's not even that bad. 20th place was Sheffield Wednesday, who had a incredible run of form towards the very end of the season. The last 6 games, 14 points out of a possible 18, which is absolutely incredible. Danny Rowe has completely turned their season round. Obviously, I think they were in the relegation zone since August or September, and they jumped out right towards the end and actually kept them in the Championship again. Sheffield Wednesday, their fans, they are top fans. Obviously, I went to Hillsborough, obviously watching Stoke and Sheffield, and their fans are great. They're crazy, and they're a good type of crazy. The scenes is probably one of the best home scenes that I've seen from a goal for a while from a home set of fans. So, yeah, big up Sheffield Wednesday. Well done to them for staying up again. If they can carry that momentum into next season, they can go really high, do like an Ipswich did, and end up finishing in the top two. Obviously, probably not top two, but yeah, obviously the momentum's there. That's all the Championship's about. If you can maintain momentum and keep getting the wins that they've been doing, they'll push on next season. And yeah, well done to them for staying up. Also forgot to mention Sheffield Wednesday. I had them in 22nd, so again, I had them to go down, but relegation, it could have happened, so I wasn't really too far off. Only 2 places there. Next up, Blackburn, 19th they finished, and I had them to finish 11th in the league. They were playoff contenders last season. Obviously, almost got there towards the end. But again, this season they had a massive drop off. They lost some key players, of course, like Bradley Dack, and obviously Brereton Diaz, who obviously left to go to play in Spain. And yeah, they almost got relegated. I don't know what it's going on at Blackburn. Like, they shouldn't have been down there, but at the end of the day, Sammy Szmodics, who got the golden boot in the Championship, kept him up. Obviously, at the end towards the end of the season as well. Sheffield Wednesday getting a win against them. They look like contenders to get relegated. Obviously, they didn't. I say Blackburn are a big club, so they don't deserve to be in League One, but they were on thin ice going into the last few weeks of the season. 18th in the league were QPR. Obviously, I had them to finish 24th, and obviously I was a bit off on that one, but I did that based off last season. They were top of the league at one point. They had a really bad drop of form and almost got relegated last season. And again this season, all 3 of the teams, Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, Rotherham, they're the 3 teams I had to go down. And they were all in the relegation zone up until about February, March time. And obviously QPR started jumping out, then towards the end, Sheffield Wednesday hopped out as well. So I wasn't too far off, but they did look destined to go down. The new manager, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, he did save them. Big wins towards the end of the season as well, against Leeds as well at home. That probably kept them up. And the squad they had, I didn't really see them performing as well as they did. Obviously, they had players like, I picked up Morgan Fox as well. I think he had an okay season from an outside looking in. And Asmir Begovic, you brought in to captain the side. Obviously, ex-Stoke City player. Again, didn't do too bad, but they did stay up. That was the whole point for QPR again, to try and make sure they're staying in the division. And they did that, and did it in some style towards the end as well, especially beating Leeds. So, yep, they're in the Championship again next season. So, 17th spot were my boys, and I had them finishing 8th. And it's probably one of the biggest ones I got out for the entire season. I had them 8th because of the transfer window. Obviously, 20 odd players coming in. You'd expect us to gel, but other people had us not to gel because of so many players coming in. It didn't work for a large part of the season. We were in relegation zone at one point as well after losing to Cardiff. And yeah, people had us going down and not getting any big wins. But again, towards the end of the season, we're beating teams like Hull. We beat Southampton. We put good shifts in against Leeds. Beat them once. Southampton beat them away, last game of the season as well. And also beat Bristol, which I didn't cover on the channel. But like I say, we should be doing better than 17th. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know what else to say other than we were really, really bad. We need to step up. But the other good thing for the season is that we actually made actual signings and not free agents and loans, and we actually got ourselves set up for the future. So yeah, we just need to do better. Stoke can do better. Scoring goals has been an issue. Lost Jacob Brown to Luton at the start of the season, and the strikers we got in to replace him haven't really stepped up. Our highest goal scorer, I think it was Vidigal, with 7. Obviously he's a winger, so again, Stoke needs to step up, but I had as an 8th, and not even a look in. We were second after the first game of the season, but again, you can't write a season off after one game. Bad prediction from me. So 16th spot were Sunderland, and this is the second biggest out that I had. out of my entire prediction, and I had them finishing third. Obviously, they had a really good season prior, after obviously coming up the season before that, and they had a really good start to the season. Bellingham, they brought in Job, and Jack Clark were kicking on massively, but they had a massive drop after Mowbray got sacked, and from an outside I can't remember how he got sacked and why he got sacked, but it is what it is. He's 16th and a third place position, not the best one from me. Watford were the team to finish in 15th, and I had them finishing in 10th. Again, I still predicted them to do 10th because they still had a very strong squad, and yeah, again, it was just lacking consistency. I think most of these mid-table teams, they are lacking consistency, and the last 10 games of the season, 11 points. Again, it's not exactly playoff form, but it's not exactly relegation form. So again, it is mid-table form. But Watford, from other fans, even they're saying they should be doing a lot better than 15th in the Championship. So yeah, it was 5 places out. I had them finishing mid-table, but I expected a bit more from Watford. I think most fans did. So 14th was Swansea, and this is one out of the only 2 that I did actually get spot on. Swansea I had in 14th, and there's a good lucky guess, I think. They had an okay season. That's all I can really say. I haven't really got much to say on Swansea. They did well considering they didn't have Joe Perreault and also Russell Martin. Obviously left the club for Southampton before the season started. So not much to say. I got it spot on. I'll take that. Moving swiftly on, 13th spot were Millwall, and I had them finishing in 6th. And from the last 5 games of the season, they probably could have done that if they just kept up that momentum. Obviously, the last 5 games of the season, 5 wins in a row, which is crazy. But again, I had them finishing in playoffs. I just thought they'd do it again because they did it the season before. And in the Gary Rowett side, they normally push on and do really, really well during the campaign. So I just thought they'd get playoffs. They didn't do it. They move on to next season with a good win streak of 5 wins in a row. So we'll just see how they do next season, and probably try and push playoffs again. 12th spot, Cardiff City. I had them finishing 21st, and obviously some people would say they shouldn't have actually been in this Championship season, obviously due to the points deductions. I think Reading and I think also Wigan got the previous season, so they could have gone down and played League One football this season, but they didn't, fortunately for them. But I had them finish 21st because again they had a poor season that year, and again I didn't see any real strength coming in the summer, so I didn't really see where the goals were coming from, and I saw a leaky defence. But again, it's just win lose mid-table team. So yeah, 12th is probably just right for them. But again, that was one of the big outs of 9 places. I was out on that one. 11th spot, Bristol City, which I had 15th, and yeah, mid-table team, finished mid-table. There's not really much I can say. Obviously, the Championship's so hard to predict. The other thing I've really got to note on Bristol is, again, Stoke. Played them twice, beat them twice, and that's good for Stoke considering I think since we've been down, we don't think we've done the double on Bristol yet. And because they were a bogey team, they'd always come to Stoke and hammer us and always put on a good performance. And we even got a good away day out of Bristol as well. Ashton Gate coming from 2-0 down to win 3-2. It is what it is. 11th spot for Bristol is still a very good position, and yeah, they can kick on and hopefully start to look forward now. Moving into the top 10 now, Preston is where they finished, 10th spot. 13th I had them again, but I wasn't too far off. Again, like it's hard. Anywhere from 8th down to about 21st. So hard to predict in the Championship, and like I say, it wasn't too far off. They were top of the table for quite a good portion of the season. Obviously, like I say, they just lacked the quality in the end. Obviously, the teams that obviously came down, obviously they showed why they were fighting at the top end of the division. Obviously, Preston just couldn't keep up. So yeah, but again, 10th is still a decent season for Preston. They still were keeping pace with some of the big teams. So Coventry City finished 9th, and I had them 4th. And they had an incredible season, even despite finishing 9th in the league. They know they can finish higher, obviously losing the playoff final last season. But they got to get a chance to go to Wembley again, but in an FA Cup semi-final. And they probably should have gone through to the final of that. Because I really think they should have beat Man United. And that offside for that last kick of the game in extra time, thin margins. So I feel for Coventry fans. Could have had an FA Cup final, if I can get my words out. But again, ninth spot, again, it's not bad. Obviously, 2 or 3 seasons in the Championship now, from coming up from League One. But like I say, they could have put playoffs and they got an FA Cup semi-final. So if I was a commentary fan, I wouldn't take the season at all. It's one you remember. You got a chance to go to Wembley as a Championship club, which not many teams get the chance to do. So Middlesbrough, I had them finishing in 7th, but instead they finished 8th. So again, I was only 1 place out, so I'm not really too bothered by that. It was only 1 spot. But Middlesbrough, I don't know what it is. They finished 8th, but whenever I've watched them home and away, Stoke against Middlesbrough, and I don't know what it is, but Middlesbrough didn't look good on both of those occasions. I may have said it in the vlog. I was expecting a lot more from Middlesbrough. But they still got 8th place, and they obviously a League Cup semi-final, I believe, as well, if I remember correctly, against Chelsea. Again, 8th spot, not a bad season, League Cup semi-final, but yeah, I just didn't see where the quality was when we played against them. But 8th spot, I can't argue with it. So 7th spot, just missing out on playoffs for Hull City, and this is one of my biggest fuck-ups. I had them finishing 18th, so yeah. All my hands up to that one. Rosenior Bull, very good. Obviously, I watched Hull, obviously, home and away, and they were really strong in both games. Obviously, they were unlucky to lose the game at the MKM against us, but like, their midfield is crazy strong. Can't remember exactly. I know Series and I know one of them, but their midfield is crazy strong. And they even got Carvalho on loan from Liverpool in the January window as well, which I thought was amazing for them. But yeah, it's crazy as well because I think Liam Rosenior actually got sacked from Hull at the end of the season. But that is crazy to me. They just missed out on playoffs and you sack him. I can't believe it. 3 points off playoffs and you sack your manager. It's probably just up there as crazy like Darren Moore at the start of the season with Sheffield Wednesday. He wins the playoffs and then gets sacked before the season starts. But yeah, unlucky to Hull. They probably could have got it again. Just 1 win out of a playoff spot. It's unlucky because the team that got it was Norwich in 6th. I'm going to go straight into them. I had them finishing 12th. They finished in a similar position last season. I think 12th, 13th, 11th, maybe one of those 3. I just thought to do the same thing again. I didn't see the quality really. But again, David Wagner, I think it is, he's obviously got on playing some good stuff. And again, playoff semi-finals against Leeds, who obviously had too much for Norwich on the day. Because it was 0 on the first leg. But yeah, they'll probably up there again next season. Obviously Norwich are a strong side, and yeah, they'll probably end up pushing promotion next season because I think it's going to be a weaker season than this one. So we'll see how Norwich do. 5th, West Bromwich Albion. I had them in 9th, but like I say, they had one of the best defence in the league, the 3rd best defence in the league, behind Leeds and Leicester. And yeah, their only downfall I can really see, obviously they've had a really good defence, but the last, I think it's 8 games of the season, 9 points, and obviously dropped 15 from those games. Again, if you pick those points up, you're looking 3rd or 4th, 3rd, trying to push top 2. It's a different season for West Brom. People are going to praise you so much, but again, West Brom 5th, again, it's not bad. Again, playoffs. They're just unlucky. The last 8 games of the season, they could have been a lot higher. Top 4 now, so you haven't got too much longer to listen to my voice, honestly. Yeah, 4th spot, Southampton. Obviously ended up going up through the playoffs, so again, well done to them by beating Leeds in the final. Again, they had a strong squad, and I had them finishing 2nd. They had a strong squad. Like I say, I thought they were going to get automatics, but they got up nonetheless, so I kind of got that one right. Again, just dropped points towards the end of the season. They could have been pushing to Ipswich in 2nd. Obviously, they just dropped points. They didn't drop those points. They're pushing Leeds. They're pushing for an easier playoff game, but didn't really matter too much for them because they went up anyway through the playoffs. So again, well done to them back in the Premier League. And yeah, obviously the team they beat was Leeds, who were in 3rd. I had them finishing 5th. Again, I didn't see them having a squad to beat Leicester and Southampton. Honestly, I just thought they were getting playoffs, and I thought they would have gone up through the playoffs. I thought all of the teams would have gone straight back up at the first time of asking, but Leeds missed out. They still had a very good season. I think one of the first teams for many, many years to not get promoted in the Championship with 90-something points, which is, again, is crazy. It was a ridiculous season. It was a really, really tough season, and you can see why the difference between the top and bottom of the table, the quality, the strength of the team they had at the top compared to the ones at the bottom. But yeah, Leeds, good season. I reckon next year they're probably not going to win the league. Early assumptions, maybe they'll kick on as long as they keep the manager, keep some of their core players. Somerville might be leaving, obviously, for Premier League football. If they can keep hold to some of those big players, they will push on. Moving into the top two, joining Southampton in the Premier League, and this is obviously the biggest out, which I think anyone could expect. Second place, Ipswich Town. I had them 16th. And this is another one I hold my hands up to, because I watched a lot of other predictions, and obviously I had made mine, and everyone else were going Ipswich to finish 6th, 8th, 7th, 4th. And I couldn't see why, but now I know why. It's safe to say. Kieran McKenna got on playing incredible stuff. They were in the top 6, I think, for the entire season after the first match. And they just stayed there, up at the top with Leicester, almost point for the entire season. Well done, Ipswich. Back-to-back promotions. A crazy story. The best attack in the league, 92 goals scored. That's obviously one reason why he stayed up. He kept fighting to the end in every game, like the games against Southampton. He drew both games with Leicester to keep the pressure on them. Magic moments and magic times, and Ipswich are in the Premier League again. And it's been a while since Ipswich have had anything to say on their noisy neighbours, Norwich. And actually got one over on them for the first time in a while. So, yeah, good story, Ipswich. Hopefully they'll do well next season in the Premier League. I'm sure they will. I'll do my Premier League predictions for them for next season as well, so be sure to look out for that. But yeah, 14 places out, so our biggest one. So yeah, crazy, which obviously leaves the last one, which is the second one. Sorry, I've got spot on. Leicester, I had them first. They finished first. They won the league. I said they'd get the records points. I said they beat Reading's 108. They didn't do that due to the fact they lost. I think the last 14 games of the season, out of their 11 losses, they lost 7 of those during those 14. So 1 in 2 games were a loss, and the last 14 games of the season, which is crazy. They could, like I say, you shouldn't be dropping points, but the pressure was on. The tiredness was obviously creeping in, and yeah, they had a massive points margin, slipped down quite a bit, but ended up getting over the line in the end and obviously winning the league like a lot of people thought they would. Too good for the league. I watched them against us. They absolutely battered us, deserving champions. And yeah, back in the Premier League where they belong as well. So that is my predictions, and that's everything. I'm going to tally up the points though and tell you how many points I got, because I'll keep a track record for this for future predictions. So then, obviously it's the first time doing championship predictions on my channel. For my grand total was 122 points. Not fantastic. I don't know what good is for championship. I know the Premier League, if you get about 50 points or so, you've done quite well. Obviously, like I say, a reminder, a point is being one place out. So Ipswich, I had them finishing second. I had them finish 16th. They finished second, which is 14 difference. I got 14 points just for Ipswich alone. So yeah, I got 2 of them spot on, Swansea and Leicester. 2 again, it's not great, but again, it could be weird, it could be none. But yeah, that's my predictions. I'll be here doing it next season as well. Obviously, so we were saying goodbye to teams Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, Birmingham, Huddersfield and Rotherham. And we'll be saying hello to Portsmouth, Derby and Oxford from League One. And coming down were the 3 teams to go up last season, Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton. So some more away days next season. Obviously I'll be doing vlogs, so I'll try and get an away day for pre-season as well. We've just announced we've got like teams like Crewe and Stockport and Bolton even for pre-season, so they could be shouts. But yeah, and also keep an eye out for my Premier League reactions. I'm going to do that very soon for you guys. Apologies, this one's taken quite a long time to get out. It's just been crazy busy. So hopefully you guys understand that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, leave it a like down below. I would much appreciate it if you do the channel. Subscribe as well for some more Stoke City related content. And yeah, I'll try and do some more Stoke City related stuff. I do want to expand this a bit more. So yeah, anything you guys want to know, anything you guys want to see on the channel, let me know. I'll be sure to get it out for you. Thank you guys for watching. This is Bones, and I'm signing out. And peace.